Hi, it's Kathy from Raven Vintage. Welcome back to my craft room. It has been a while and I sure have missed you guys. I didn't think I was going to be that busy towards the end of summer, and I would have announced it if I had have known I was going to be taking this much of a break from YouTube. I had no idea that my days were going to fill up so fast. So I wanted to share with you a little bit of what I've been up to. But what we're going to do today, I'll just let you know, is we're going to catch up on, I promised you I would do this, the 100 days of envelopes. Some of the videos were done as a reel or a short, and some of you, many of you, have asked for a long version of some of those days that were done so quickly in just those 1-minute reels. So I will go back through all of them that I did as shorts. I think towards the end I did more full-length videos, but right back to day one, I'm going to do a real-time version of those short 1-minute videos, and I will put in the title which days we're going to cover. And I don't know how many videos this is going to take to get through them, so we'll just try this first one and then we'll see. I'm going to share with you in a little bit about these items here and what they're for. And yeah, I've been busy. I was babysitting because kids were out of school. They're back in school now, and I took a 3-day holiday with my friends. I have been organizing a shopping day. We'll get back to this. And where am I going to put that? Over here. I've been organizing a shopping day, which is this Thursday. I have one spot left for that. And then I have also, a booth became available at the antique market, which is one of our stops on that trip. So I was there asking about, I was getting the bags for the girls for the trip, and I saw that there was a booth open, and I thought, hey, so I inquired and it was available. So I have a shelf booth at the antique market, and I'm selling junk journal supplies. So we'll talk more about that in a bit. And then what else have I been doing? Oh, I took applications up till the end of August for my new design team members. So we've expanded our team from 3 to 5. And so I was doing that selection process, and those gals have joined now, and I've been getting them set up to get started. And what else have I been doing? Yeah, I was babysitting. I took a 3-day holiday, setting up the shopping day. Oh, and my prepping my design team, or working on my design team, and of course the booth. So when I got the booth, I had to fill the booth, so I had to make a bunch of product for that and get all the price tags done and everything. So yes. Let's start with day one, and then I'll get back to you in a minute about those rack cards and that business card. I wanted to share an idea with you because I think some of you might really like it. Okay, so day one was a short. It was called Flip Flop Flap. So I basically did large envelopes at the front of a journal. What are these? Some of these are cut off. I'm not sure. I just grabbed a bunch of randomness here. So at the front of the journal, quite often we like to have a large envelope, quite often on the inside cover or here. So I think I might do it over here actually, this Flip Flop Flap. So the way I did that, let me just pick 3 here first of all. Don't really need a colorful one. Let's do these 2 large ones, and then I did a small guy for the middle. I think, what's that for width? That's too wide. Too wide. I guess it's going to be this one. Yeah, I'm going to cover that up. Okay, so is it open? Yeah, I'll do that one. Okay, so let's get these out of the way. So in journals, we like to quite often just have a place to put some like a tuck spot or a good sized pocket, and quite often we like a great big envelope on the inside. So basically this one, we're going to glue this one down like this. This guy's going to be right here. That just needs to fit on your page, and they need to close. So I might need to do a different size. Let's see. No, as long as it closes like that. Oh, I'm a little right. Where's my seam, or my, there, it still needs to close. So maybe I'll make them a little closer. I think I'll lay that one down first, and then this one will just land wherever it lands. And then this guy, so this opens up, flip, flop, and then we had a flap. And we're gonna do it this way. Let's do it this way so it folds down. Okay. Now we can decorate these front and back. But basically this was the idea, flip, flop, flap. So I think what we'll do is we'll start with, you probably can't see it, but the crease of where the book bends right there. I just need to make sure I'm not, you know what, I'm just going to center this one a little bit. I'm going to glue the flap down, and we'll just start with that. Probably would have been wise to decorate the front before I put it down, but that's okay. That's okay. Well, I hope everyone had a great summer. I love September. September is my birthday month, but I do love it. I've been enjoying, if you remember, I was talking about, oh, see, I'm not going to remember where we left off chatting about things. It's been a while. I think I did mention though that I got this couch for my back porch, and I've been spending a lot of time out there. I love it, resting, enjoying it and the outdoors, but still having a roof over my head. It's been very, very enjoyable. So what was my point about I've been out there, and just this week I've noticed the Canadian geese are practicing their flights, or the ducks, I'm not sure. I think it's mostly Canadian geese I've been seeing. For those that are going to go a little further south for the winter, they've been up practicing their formations, and of course they honk and honk and honk while they're doing it, because they're communicating to each other while they're doing it. It's quite a sight, but they practice, that V formation when they're flying. So I've been, just this past week, there's been so many of them, but they seem to have like a schedule. So, and then there's a nice crossover, because this time of year, my neighbor has these beautiful trumpet vines that hang over top of the fence. Is that straight-ish? And the hummingbirds, like, it's full bloom, and it's like a late bloomer compared to other things. But the hummingbirds are having the time of their lives there, and it's kind of nice to watch them as well. Okay, I didn't do this in the video, but I think I'm going to put something that covers that exactly. Oh, I just grabbed what I had handy, which right now happens to be some test prints and such from, this just isn't lining up well for me. There we go. I just wanted my edges to be the same. I was printing some printed for you packs for my booth at the antique market, and I did one of the ones I did was Let's Ask Autumn. It's the right time of year. I have a bunch of stuff. Actually, I have more to take, like little curated ribbon packs for fall, like Halloween or fall decor. I have other little I'm having so much fun with that booth, guys. I love it. I really love it. I really do. All right, this is what I'm gonna do. I know there's a bit of a margin there. I'm gonna cut that off first, and then I'm going to just trace that out for cutting. Make myself some lines. Let's get rid of this. I don't usually have white borders, because I usually print borderless. But somebody, me, forgot to turn that setting on, and yeah, I printed a bunch with borders. That's okay. It's the right size for this. This is awkward, but we're going to try it. We're going to try it. Looking for a pencil. yeah, so I didn't, you know, I'm single now, so I don't really travel. Like Jeff and I used to travel all the time. All the time. And I, of course, am on my own now, so I don't go anywhere. I don't have all those travel plans that we were always going somewhere. And so in my previous life there, we had a camper trailer, and we had well, many motorcycles, and we just quite often would just go in the truck and sleep in the back of the truck. We'd set up a little camp in the back of the truck, pickup truck, and because it had a cap on it, and we traveled all over the place. And I don't have really the opportunity, unless I start deciding to do some solo travel. I don't really travel at all. So it was really nice to get away with my girlfriends. So we went to, I have a very small circle of friends. I have two main friends, and those were the two friends I went with. And those are my gals that I go thrifting with and antiquing. So one of them, her sister, kindly offered to host us at her cottage up in Sable Beach. So that's off Lake Huron. And so we went and stayed up there for a couple of nights. We thrifted and antiqued our way there, and then we thrifted and antiqued our way back. So that was a lot of fun. And the weather was not so cooperative, but it was really, really windy, and the waves were just, we were right on the lake. Right on the lake. It was beautiful to watch out the window, but it was so windy and rainy. It was still beautiful to see. The power, the energy coming off that lake is really something. Wow. Really something. But still, surrounded by trees, and it was quite lovely. Nice, always nice to get away. Always good to come home though. And Ruby went and stayed at my daughter's. So she got to hang out with Luna. Luna's my little granimal that comes here. So that's nice that my daughter and I can look after each other's dogs when we go places. So it's nice that Ruby has a place to go when I don't have to put her in a kennel or boarding kennel or anything. So yeah, it was very nice. It's the first time I've been away in a while. But I used to go to up to Bracebridge area each year with a friend, and I'm hoping to do that again in October, because the leaves changing, oh my gosh, it's just such a beautiful area. It's such a beautiful drive. It's a long drive, but it's beautiful. Like, it's spectacular, really. Okay, so a flip, flop, and then our flap. So let's decorate this one. We'll just use the other side. Same thing, I'll just trace it. Oh, does it go this way? Yes. And same thing, I'm gonna have to cut the edge off so I can get right in there. There we go. So yes, it was, we visited the little shops, and along the beach there's a lot of fun little shops and whatnot there. Had a nice dinner out one night. Otherwise, we just kind of bunkered down. We played some crib. We did some reading. We rested. It was really nice. It's really nice to, I like to get away with the girls, because the guys, if you go on a trip with your guys, friends or partners or whatever, they don't always want to do the same stuff we do, and vice versa. So sometimes you feel rushed, like if you want to stop at a shop or something, unless you're blessed to find somebody that likes the same things you do. And then you feel like you're being rushed, you know. Now, mind you, antiquing and thrifting quite often is a good couples thing to do, but it's nice to go with your girlfriends that are of, you know, like-minded, same interests. And what's beautiful about my friends, the three of us, is we all look for different things. We aren't scrambling over the same stuff. So one of them likes mid-century modern. The other one is into authentic antiques. And then me, I'm looking for junk journal supplies. So it's kind of nice, the three of us shopping together, because we're not fighting over the same stuff. And we point stuff out to each other that we might have missed. Quite often we'll pick stuff up for each other if we see it when we're out and about, or send each other a picture and say, hey, are you interested in this, that sort of thing. It's kind of fun. Okay, we'll put this one on. You know what, this is really nice because it's been a while since I just got the glue out and playing with paper like this. I'm gonna really enjoy today. So when I finish this first project, I'll get back to showing you about that rat card and my idea I wanted to share with you. Oops. A little out of practice, Kathy. Kathy's a little out of practice. My goodness. What's wrong with me? Don't have the best lighting either. It's a nice day. It's just I should have started earlier. I planned on jumping on here the first thing this morning when it was a little brighter in my craft room, but my granddaughter video called me and she just wanted to hang out while she showed me a bunch of things, and she was ready to. She's old enough now. She's spraying in her own detangler and brushing out her long hair herself. So I hung out with her. She just set her tablet up so I could hang out with her while she was doing that. And I love hanging out with them. So I ended up, I thought, oh, I thought for a second I was going to tell her I'll have to call you back because Rara's going to do a video. The kids call me Rara. But I thought, you know what? Why? Who cares? Change your schedule. She wants to hang out. I'm going to hang out. Okay. It's a little wide. I might have to trim that. Just can't quite get it right. Okay, so this is showing a little, which I think it looks nice. So we have a flip, flop, and then we want to do a flap. And I think I want this, I think I might move it up about center. So the flap opens up like that. So I would really like to put something there. Let's see. This is pretty. Let's just measure this out. I think that's going to be fine. One of my neighbors the other day had, it was the night before the first day of school. So that would have been September 1st. So she invited us, the neighbors, we have like a neighborhood chat, invited us over for a bonfire. I'm just gonna get rid of some of the blue off the top here. I think I'll just do it like this. And that was nice just to relax. And we really, usually she does a few per summer, but they had a busy summer too. So really that was the first neighborhood bonfire I'd been to this summer. So that was nice. Good group of people. I've got great neighbors. Great neighbors. There, I'll put that in behind like that. Let's ink that up a little bit. This is just regular copy paper, quite thin, but this kit is very vibrant. You don't need any special paper to get those colors to pop like that. I strive, you know me, I strive to have good quality printables. My earlier kits from like 4 or 5 years ago, 4 years ago maybe, I hadn't learned all the tips and tricks yet for getting this kind of saturation, but so some of my earlier kits are a little more muted, but for the most part they're like this. So, and if you've missed me talk about this before, or if you've heard me talk about this before, I'm sorry if it's repetitive, but I once in a while, someone will order a kit and realize it's a PDF after they've purchased it, although it does say in the description that it's a PDF. And then they message me and ask if they could have the kit as a JPEG. Some of those kits are 25 pages long, or over 20 pages. Anyway, and if I were to send you 20 JPEGs, I'd have to zip the files. And I decided a long time ago that I was not going to zip anything. All of my files were going to be ready, accessible, ready to download, because I know my audience, and there's a great number of people that are not comfortable with unzipping files. They ordered things that are zipped, they don't quite know how to extract them. So I just decided, I know my audience, and the average, I would dare say that the majority of my wonderful customers do not like unzipping files. So I committed to not ever zipping anything. That's kind of one thing about me. If you don't like unzipping, if that's been a bone of contention for you when you order printables, I don't zip my files, so you never have to worry about that from ordering from an Etsy shop. Okay, I'm gonna dare to cut that. I don't know, should I? Or should I ratty it up? Let's ratty it up. Let's do that instead. Ratty tat tat. Where's my little knife? Yeah, I'm gonna do I'm gonna rough it up a little rather than try to get a nice straight line. I'll just do this. So PDFs, if I do PDFs, I can do a large kit, like a 15 to 25 page kit. Some are bigger. And I can do it as a PDF. Now I have a secret trick I do to, I first export in very, very, very high quality. I re-import. I design, I export at an extremely high quality, really high density. I re-import that and do the design. It's one way I've learned to get good quality. And then, giving away my trade secrets. And then another, yeah, that looks good. But for things like those vintage wallpaper scans, you want to get that detail and that really high quality print, right? So therefore I do JPEGs, a high density JPEG. So the files, the higher the density, the larger the file. Now when you sell on Etsy, your file size, there's a maximum per file. So one file could be a 10-page or a 20-page PDF, or one file could be one JPEG without zipping things up. So if I want a high quality wallpaper for you guys, an antique wallpaper, and you're only allowed 5 files on Etsy at a time. So depending on the type of kit, I will do either a JPEG or a PDF. So the wallpaper, for example, that high quality wallpaper is done with JPEGs. And that's why there's only 5 in a kit, because there's 5 files. I'm allowed 5 files, so they're huge. If you look at the size of those files when you order a wallpaper kit, that's why, if you've ever noticed. So that is why I started that coupon Raven 6, so you could buy. I wanted to keep it fair, but I wanted to keep the quality up. So I thought, okay, well, how can I do this? How can I deliver a really high quality product, but still make it, you know, being competitive with other creators with printables, and make it fair to you and fair to me. So that's why I offer that coupon, so you can get 6 kits, 6 wallpaper kits at 60% off. And that's why those kits are less money to begin with than the full kits. It makes sense. They're bigger size kits. But that's why. I don't know if that makes sense to everyone, but it's about quality, about maintaining quality and conforming to file size and file limits. That is why I do it that way. So when someone says, can you send me this 25-page kit as a JPEG, the answer is, I'm sorry, no, because it would be way too big to send. And I don't want to send anything zipped up. I mean, I'm comfortable with zipping. Unzipping, not everyone is. And I want it to be as easy for you to access my files as possible. And you wouldn't believe the amount of people that send me thank yous about that. Thank you so much for the easy transaction. Or, I'm so glad these weren't zipped up. So if you were curious and you're looking for a printables designer that doesn't zip their files, I'm your girl. Let's cover this Christmas envelope up. Anyways, that's kind of a very long explanation as to why I don't zip my files, or why some are JPEGs and why some are PDFs. And a way to check, if you use Paint, the app Paint on your laptop, on your computer, that program, I've shown that before. You can, in a reel, you can open up one of my pages in a page or an image, and Paint, and then you click File, I think it's File, then Properties, and it will show you the DPI, the dots per inch. Industry standard is 300 dots per inch. You'll see mine are 500 and 600. They're a little higher than the industry standard. Nothing wrong with 300 DPI, just mine are a little more dense, a little more, oops, someone didn't need to, whoops, sorry, I'm going to glue it down anyway. So that is, if you want to check the quality of someone's printables, there you go. And I do. Out of curiosity, just to see where, you know, how I rank in the market. And I know I can bring the receipts. There, that's cute. Okay, so we're gonna put that there. I'm gonna glue that down, the flap. So here's my little envelope. I'm just going to glue the flap, the outside of the flap. And then we'll place that right about here. Okay. So now we can decorate the front. Let's Some of this I should have done before I glued it down. You can tell I'm a little rusty here. Maybe I'll just leave that. I don't know what to do. Oh, let's do that. I'm gonna try to fold that so I can cut it where it should be. So what do I have coming up? I have the shopping day on Thursday. I'll be doing Christmas vintage tag workshop at my friend's antique store. Probably in November. Wait, I just put those flyers out, which I'm going to talk to you about in a minute. So I might have some home parties to do, which we're going to talk about in just a moment. And of course, I will be. So now when I'm out thrifting, I'm looking for resale items too. It's so much fun. I'll tell you. I love it. I used to have an antique booth and I just loved it. There's something about it. So for example, I love to make my own little header tags. I design them and for things I'm selling, and add all my, I don't know. I just have so much fun. I have stuff to sell. And then this antique booth they have a vendor program that you can fill out at home. And then you can say, I'm coming in tomorrow. Can you print my tags? So you go there and you pick up your price tags and then you put them on your goodies. And then that way you've got track of your inventory, and I can look online and see what sold that day. Pretty handy. It's pretty neat. Quite like that. And the booth fee is pretty fair, I say. Now the only drawback is I'm on the second floor, and I know not everyone can do the stairs to the second floor. I even struggle with those stairs sometimes. But it's a very busy antique store. So it's a market. It's 2 stories. I forget how many vendors they have. But so on our shopping day, we're going to be going there. There we go. I'm fine with leaving that white. That's fine. And then these we can decorate if I think I can somehow. I can try. Let's see what we have here. This owl's cute. It's gonna get cut off. I'm gonna try to trace these and cut them. We'll see. I'm just going to cut this, shove it inside, and then trim it or trace it that way, I think. Bring this down a little. That. Oops. There. There we go. And here. Let's see. Get rid of those. Okay. I'm just going to cut that off. Well, I hope everyone had a great summer. I'd love to hear what you've been up to. Put this in here. Get in there all the way. Is that all the way? Yeah. Okay, so this is what I meant. I'm going to just trace it like this so I can cut it to fit. That. I'm not much of a big vacationer. Like, I don't fly places, and I think I've talked about this before. I'm a more of a staycation kind of person anyway, or day trips. But I instead of saving money to go like to Jamaica or Cuba or something, I used my what would be vacation money for a hot tub. So I have a hot tub at home. There, that's cute. And then I can just ink the sides like that. I think I'll just take this and do the opposite here. Maybe like that. We'll trace that, and then we can just trim that out. So yeah, like for those of you that like to do like a Cuba trip or Dominican or something like a lot of Canadians do. I don't know if you do this in the US or not, but a lot of Canadians will do like a trip once a year, twice a year even. Well, the money that you would spend on a trip, you would have a hot tub paid for in 2 to 3 years. So. Like a brand new one. So that was my choice. I don't do well in the heat, so it's not really on my top of my list of things to do. I think too, when you're working full time, you just want to get away. You want to decompress. You want to just, you know, high pace, high stress work, come home, make dinner, get groceries, you know, plan things with all of that. I'm in a different stage in my life now. I'm retired now. So I have a lot less stress, hardly any at all. At all. Really, I don't feel stressed. I really don't. And I don't feel the need to run that far away. You know what I mean? It would be nice. I'll probably go one of these winters soon with my parents. They go to Florida every year. Probably go down. But there. Okay, this is looking really cute. Like this. That's quite a lovely intro to this journal when you open the cover, and you've got this flip-flop flap, and you can tuck things inside. Really cute. Okay, we'll just get these two things glued on, and then I'm going to talk to you about that rat card idea. And then I don't know if we're going to do a second project or just this one today. I'm not going to add ephemera because you kind of get the idea. This is I think Cindy Lewis is doing something with Let's Ask Autumn. She's working on like a simple, very simple little quickie journal you could do. I don't know how I'm going to center this quite. Here we go. Oh, I love that owl. Anyways, Let's Ask Autumn. I love this kit. I love owls. I don't want to collect owls. I'm tempted though, I'll tell you. Every time I see a little figurine or something, I just, because I have such a small house now, I really don't want to get into little, maybe I should trim that, little collections. I just don't have room. I just don't have room. But, let's trim that. Oh, I hope I'm not cutting the envelope, but it feels like I might be. I have to glue that shut. Yeah, I think I did. I think I just cut the bottom of my, just right there. All right, let's fix that. It's gonna glue that shut again. There you go. Whoops, whoops. You didn't see that. Okay, and then we'll just ink the top. Yeah, owls are cute. It's like, I grew up on pig farm, and everybody used to give my parents pig everything. Figurines, little statues, little jokes, little sticker, whatever. Like, and eventually you just have so much tchotchke stuff with like all these little pigs. It's like, okay, enough already. You know, those I can actually trim. Why not? Who's going to know what size that envelope was? Nobody. Look at that. I'm just going to trim that white right off. I think we used to do that, didn't we, in the 100-day project? Yeah, look at that. Why not? I received some Happy Mail, guys. So pretty. It's just the sweetest thing to get. I've only ever received a few Happy Mails from some of you very kind souls. And I remember my very first one. I was just tickled. It's like, what? That's so sweet. Like, so I have been making, going through some of my made stuff there and selecting things to send out and prepping my little packages. Getting my Happy Mail ready to send out. Make a trip to the post office, and yeah. Oh, that's cute. Like, look at how much interaction and fun there is just inside the cover alone. A little pink in here, picks up over here. Isn't that sweet? Cute. And of course you could add whatever. Flip, flop, flop. Love it. Love it. Okay, let's get this one glued down, and then we'll chat about that other stuff. Yeah, I think today we'll just do this one project, and hopefully I get back to the swing of things. Maybe I can fit 2 into the next one. Oh, my dog is snoring. Okay. So the neighbors across the road got some chickens, and they're big enough now. They're out roaming the yard. And I was laughing. The other day I was pulling out of my driveway, and directly across the road, would be the edge of their property, I saw these chickens jumping. Like literally boing, boing, boing. I'm like, what are they doing? I figured it out pretty quickly though. They were, there's a fence there, and there's a grapevine on the fence. So there's wild grapes, you know, nothing we'd want to eat, but they were jumping up to peck the grapes off the grapevine. Oh, it was so cute. Oh my goodness. They're just boing, boing. They're hopping straight up in there to grab these berries. It was so cute. Or the grapes. So funny. And they've got some little kittens over there, and they've got an old dog and a new puppy dog. Little old dog is Rosie. She's so cute. She's just teeny tiny little white thing. And it's kind of nice to enjoy other people's pets without having to look after them yourself. That's me getting old. There we go. I've got my Ruby, and that's enough. I've often thought about what to do when she goes. I don't know. I don't think I'll get another dog. I don't think I'll get a cat either. I think I'd probably be petless for a while because, well, for one, it's not cheap. Like, each time we go to the vet, it's $800 now. Like, it's just absolutely insane. It's so much money. I mean, they're worth it, but when you are single, retired on a budget, that's a good chunk of your budget. But she needs her, where I am, we have like ticks and stuff, so she needs to have that prevention medicine and get all her tests. And of course we have rules. You have to have rabies shots and all the things. All their vaccinations have to be kept up, or they get if they got loose, they could be, impounded, and it's a thing. I mean, you want to be a responsible pet owner anyway if you can, but oh gosh, I remember back in the day on the farm, we didn't do any of that stuff. We just had pets. Just looked after them, and if they got sick, they got sick. It's just, I don't know. Nowadays, it's a lot of money. Okay. It's a lot. I think ever since COVID, the prices just went, phew. A lot of people got pets, and yeah. Okay. There we go. I think that's really cute. So that is our, do you get it the right way? It doesn't really matter. Flip, flop, and there's our little flap. So that was day 1 of the 100-day project that I did a reel for, and now we did that. Look, it's so cute. Love it. I love this printable, this Let's Ask Autumn. That's all of this is from that. It's so pretty. So pretty. Love it. Butterflies, the acorns, the birds. Okay, so that is day 1. I hope you enjoyed that one. Okay, so this I wanted to mention to you. So I just wanted to show you my business cards. I designed everything on Canva, and then I sent them away to Vistaprint to be printed. I wanted to be a little bit different. So I got the linen paper. It's a little bit more, but I don't know if you can tell or see that, but it has a linen surface. It feels nice, and it looks nice. And then I have all my socials on there. And the reason I wanted that is because I'm trying to introduce junk journaling in my community. I've done workshops before. I know there's some people that are familiar with it, but junk journaling is not very popular yet in my area. So I'm trying to spread the word about junk journaling. So that is part of the reason for my deciding to jump into that booth at the antique market. It's an opportunity for me to lay these things down for people to pick up. I'm already paying for the booth space, so here I have a place now to put these without, I can maybe 300 people see it a day, walk by it, maybe 10 of them will pick it up. That's great. Rather than me driving around to all these locations and pin them up on boards that people usually just walk past, or for paying for advertising. So I'm already paying for the booth, so this is just sitting in the booth. So that's why I thought that would be another good reason to have the booth. And also until things get straightened out, right now nobody's shipping to the US, so it doesn't affect my digitals at all. There's no duties or tariffs on digitals, which is great. But as for me, for running this as a little hobby business, I can't ship journals to the US right now. Canada Post won't even let me. I tried, and even if we did, there'd be tariffs on it right now, or that de minimis thing's gone. And I'm not complaining. I'm sure things will get figured out and straightened out and whatever. And it is fair because, like, Canada's de minimis value's been really low compared to the US. US was 800, Canada was 125. So US has always been very, very generous in allowing us to ship things. And so right now we can't. And that, I know a lot of people are suffering for that with their business. So I'm really thankful to have my digital side of things. So thank you for continuing. If you're from the US, like 95% of my customers are US. Like, that's a big number. So if you are continuing to support me as a Canadian in my Etsy shop, thank you very much. I truly appreciate that. I really, really do. So what do I do with my journals? Well, so I have now put my journals in this booth for sale. I had to change the pricing to make it more palatable, which is a hit, but people aren't aware of junk journals and the work that goes into them and all the things you add to them and how that all adds up. Like, they just are not aware. So I'm introducing the craft locally. And my booth is a junk journal supply booth. There's also vintage items there, but I have a lot of supplies. So curated ribbon sets and these little button jars and fabric bundles and pre-printed packs, tea-dyed paper, music paper, ledger paper. Of course, I have the journals themselves. ephemera, postcards, Edith Holden books, like all the things, right? So that's what my booth is about. Another thing I wanted to tell you, so maybe you might want to consider that if you're Canadian like me and you are missing out on US, if you're missing out on your US sales and you've really taken a hit to your business, maybe consider opening up a junk journal, a booth in your local antique market or some sort of a vendor market or maker's market. It can be a tough sell because, like I said, not everybody knows what a junk journal is. So, but I had another idea I wanted to share with you to pivot, to find other ways to supplement the loss of that income for shipping to the US. So another idea I had was to host a paper party. So my rat cards say, hi, who I am, what is a junk journal, explains that. And then down here, I have host a paper party. And on the back, I have 3 QR codes, which I'll tell you about in a second, to demonstrate 3 little quickie paper projects. But here, gather your friends, enjoy a fun, hands-on creative workshop. I'll bring everything you need. Just bring your love of paper. So remember when we used to do Mary Kay parties and Regal parties and Tupperware parties and all kinds of little home parties like that? How about a paper party? So it's a craft night. You would host, so the host would invite her friends and put out some refreshments, that sort of thing. And of course the host gets benefits, but then you just go teach. Now you can't teach how to make an entire junk journal in one evening, obviously, but you could do a single signature. You could teach a 3-hole pamphlet stitch. You could teach things, the basics like belly bands, pockets. You could, anything I've done in a workshop. I've done workshops before. Why not do it as a home party on a smaller, more intimate, in a smaller group? And I think that would be a ton of fun. So I've said where my boundaries are locally, where I'll drive to, and then and how much per person for 3 guests. So this is what I've done: 3 guests plus a host. So $50 per person, but the host pays $25, so they get half price. And then I would bring the host some sort of a little goodie bag, of course. And then if you have 6 or more, so that's 3 to 5, it's minimum 3 to 5 people at that price. And then if you get 6 or more people plus the host, it's still $50 each for the attendees, but then the host is free. So, and then I also have down here that the host receives a special gift, but ask me about fundraisers for 15 or more people. And then I'd be willing to share the price with whoever's raising money for. And then in that case, we'd probably do it at a venue, like at a brewery or a winery or a restaurant or something like that, or a library or something. So I thought about doing fundraisers too as a workshop and just turn it into a fundraiser. Turn my workshops into a fundraiser is what I'm trying to say. So I think there's a slew of different crafts you could do. One thing I'm going to be doing is a workshop at my friend's antique shop in November, and we're going to do some vintage Christmas tags. So that's going to be a really fun evening. And yeah, so I thought that I wanted to share that with you for those of you that are makers, that are have a hobby hustle like mine. And if you've been selling journals and you're unable to ship to the US right now, I thought maybe you might want to consider something like this. Number 1, the antique booth, or the booth at a market of some sort. And number 2, the paper parties. If anybody wants to message me, ravenvintageca@gmail.com, if you want to chat about that, I'd be happy to talk to you about my ideas to set that up. And then on the back, what I did was I created 3 QR codes on this rack card so that somebody could right there at my booth or take this home and look later. But there's 3 different quickie reels here that show 3 different paper crafts, just to give people an idea of the range of things that we do with paper. So of course, one of them is a scrap buster. So it's using scraps to make a paper snippet strip. And I show how I put that into a journal. And then another reel, this was hidden paper clips. And then the first one is how I dissect Victorian photo albums to use the frames as journal toppers or make tags or belly bands, that sort of thing, because I have a lot of those Victorian albums for sale in my booth. So that's why I have a demonstration of that there. So this idea right here, QR code. So I made the QR code on Canva. or they have an app that you can convert. You just copy your hyperlink to whatever video you want to show, and you paste it into the app that makes QR codes, and they make that, and then you download that QR code as a picture and insert that picture into your whatever you're doing here. In this case, I've done rat cards. So I've got all my contact information there. So I thought this idea might be a little bit of a pivot and might help some of us that are trying to continue. You know, don't give up on junk journaling just because things are, you know, we've lost a big chunk of our US market. Just please don't give up on it. And I'm just going to do my part to try to introduce junk journaling to local people and try to promote this craft, because you and I know how wonderful this is, how much we enjoy it. It's so rewarding. It's soothing. Now, it may be frustrating at first when you're first getting started, but I think after time you start to realize that there's no mistakes and everything's fixable. And it just it's brought me so much joy. It really, really has. And I've got to connect with all of you. So now I have all these new friends in the YouTube world here and in Instagram that we share a love of junk journaling. So, all right, I have yapped enough. You can tell I've missed you guys. I won't shut up. I'm sorry. So next project though, we're talking about Happy Mail. I'm going to continue doing these envelope things, but let me see if I can cover up this address here. So I got this really cute Happy Mail. Let's cover up my address here like this. So cute. Look at those stamps. Aren't they cool? So I got this, and inside, this is from Dee Dee Harris. Thank you again, Dee Dee. So sweet. So she wrapped it in lace, but this she told me where she got the inspiration for it. Oops, that's my little note that was not supposed to be in there. And she made this, and she told me who it was inspired by. Now I forget, but I'll have to look and see. I've got my note from her. But I would like to make one of these. I think we'll do this as a project. I just thought it was so sweet. I think it was Cora Crafts. I'll have to take a look, but look at this little birdie. You can see that little bird? He's so cute. It's beautiful. It's just a little flip. Some vellum there, and then there's the pockets. There's some ephemera in there, and some things I can use, some tags and such. Book pages. She's got some little fabric stapled on there. Looks like she has a tiny attacher. There's some stamped paper. Another dictionary page. Isn't this sweet? So I think it's just, she did a beautiful job. Some old book pages there. Music page. Some old notes taken. And then we have another pocket in here with some more ephemera pieces. I recognize this one. That's from my, that is from my Christmas stuff. Some oriental writing there. She gave me some washi tape. I think that's being held on with this a little bit. Yeah, holding it in place. So I've got some washi tape she sent me. And in here, some little stickers. Look at them all. So this pocket goes in a different direction. So that's probably why she had that, so it didn't fall out. And then another big pocket at the back with all kinds of goodies in here. Look at this. Look at this little glassine envelope. Oop. How sweet is that? And then there's stamps in there. Some wonderful ephemera. There's a beach scene. Got a label. Some pretty paper, so she's used her punches there. Gorgeous. She has some really nice papers. Love me an index. You know I love me an index. Love that. Some paper, and back to, look at that. Isn't that neat? Faithful. Oh, Oh, it's a playing card. I didn't even realize that at first. Oh, wow. And a cigarette card. Wonderful. So she's put some authentic vintage in there along with some printables and some stamps. Wonderful. I'm excited. Let me see. I have to look at these. Look at that. So cool. I've never seen anything like that before. I don't know what those are from. I don't know if those are vintage. They look vintage. That is so cool. So very cool. So thanks, Dee Dee. I appreciate this so much. But anyways, and I am so inspired by this little folio, or it's not really a folio, it's more like a flip pad. But I'm gonna go to try to figure out that video that she mentioned to see where she was inspired by and get the right terminology and such. And then it has just a simple 2-hole ribbon closure. But it looks like this piece might have come from a 12 by 12. It comes around, all the way around. And then it flips up here, and then she's done a jagged edge there and there. So, oh yeah, it looks like it, yep. Looks like a 12 by 12. So I am really looking forward to making this. I think it's going to be a really fun project for us and a great way to use up some of those smaller bits that we have, and cuts and such. Right? Like pieces like this is why I grabbed that. Yes, so that is going to be a project coming up soon. So stay tuned for that. And of course, I'm going to continue with the projects for the envelopes. So I hope that intrigues you to come back and watch the next one. So that's today's, again, flip, flop, and flap using envelopes. That was day 1 of the 100-day project, and then we will move on and find another spot in this journal. And the next one we're going to do, just so you know, so day 3 was some embossing. So we'll do some embossing, and that'll be pretty quick. So I think we'll also do the dissected, day 4. So we'll try to do day 3 and 4 together in the next video. Maybe I'll try to do 2 at a time, since we'll see how much I talk. We'll see. I'll be a little more prepared next time. Okay, well, thanks for hanging out with me today. I look forward to chatting with you in the comments. And let's pick a color like Cindy does for our comments, just so I know you're there. If you don't feel like saying anything, but you just want to let me know that you were here and you watched. Let's do, I forget, we did green before. Let's do pink this time. Let's do pink. Drop a pink emoji in the comments below of anything you want, and then I'll know you were here. All right, I look forward to chatting with you, or just seeing that you were here by looking at your emojis in the comments. So all right, thanks again, everyone. Take care. See you soon. Bye.